Hi, everybody. I'm Guy,
Hi, I'm Chelsea.
and this is Geek Tank Chaucer, which is
Woohoo!
actually really, I think, more. What do we call it? Shackleton. Shackleton. Expanse.
Shackleton expands in the mirror universe, but sometimes in the normal universe. What the fuck is going on?
Something like that. That's going to have to be abbreviated.
Somebody abbreviate that for me.
Anyway, as we've done in the past, we have this side, right here, this side is the GM, Joe. I'm the vice GM for today. Then we start to this side where we've got Chelsea, who's Captain Lupine. We got Hastings right here. We've got Brent directly below me, who's playing Marcus. And we've got Luna playing Jorath, which is not the way it's said in the opening and ending credits because I messed up. But that's okay. I'll fix it. It's just, we'll edit it out and fix it in post. So there you go.
Hi.
So, okay.
All right.
And now I'm going to turn the table over to Joe, not Troy, because you're not Troy. I was just with Troy, so this is why I'm like confused. I'm going to turn it over to Joe.
I think Troy would probably be insulted.
He should probably
apologize to him. Yeah.
Was really
apologize right now to your best friend.
Poor Troy.
Sorry, Bob. I'm sorry.
Well, I guess we know where Troy stands.
The audacity.
All right, so we are in episode 5 of season 9, and we are in the second act of this particular story. And Hastings, would you care to remind everyone where we're at?
Well, last week, our intrepid space adventurers went to probably another dimension. I still don't understand what happened, and neither did Hastings. So we're all there together. And when there, we were approached by kind of Romulans who had gone back into the past farther than us for various nefarious reasons and had taken over the galaxy because they're assholes, and that's what they do. And then they tried to steal our ship member Marcus, and our diplomat Hastings had a very long day and does not like rude people. And she forgot to be diplomatic and then stabbed someone, which started a fight, which we couldn't win. And Jorath was in the corner doing cool stuff and trying to keep our ship from falling apart, while everyone else, including the captain and Marcus, were, slowly getting murdered in the whatever room it is.
Transporter.
The transporter room. And then we kind of won, but not really, because I always think Zolarina. Is it Giraffe or Zolarina? Sorry.
You can call me Zolarina. Giraffe is the symbiont's name.
So, because Zolarina was like, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to just fill it with knockout gas, which did eventually work, but not before most of us almost died. And then, for reasons that we don't know, because the universe is great, and not because we were going to die because we were being silly, we catapulted off into a new dimension, because I'm just going to assume they're all dimensions. And that's where we are now, today. You're welcome.
All right. Would anyone care to add anything to that?
That's pretty succinct.
All right, I'm good with it.
I was going to say that was pretty awesome, actually. I'm pretty okay with that.
What happened?
It was a great recap.
Pretty heckin' bad last session.
I'll admit, I'm kind of trying to figure out exactly where the ship ended up as well. So I'm sure that's going to be our first
Last
thing.
episode,
Well, what a
when the
beautiful
diplomat
segue.
fails.
So, if you will recall, what happened at the end was a line of blackness appeared out of the nothingness of space that was blacker than the black of space, opened up almost like a mouth, surrounded the ship, closed up. There was a moment of just nothing but darkness, nothing on the sensors, nothing, and it opened up again. The blackness opened, folded itself back up into a little dot, into a line, and then a dot disappeared, and you were in a new place. And this is what you see on your view screens. If so, yes, there we go.
I got you.
I'm trying to find all the pieces here.
Those look like Class M planets. Let's settle down. It'll be great.
Do we recognize, like, particularly Chelsea and I recognize that location?
So I'm going to say it's vaguely familiar looking, but probably not right off the top of your head.
Uh-oh.
The problem is that what you see is basically a rocky celestial body and a gaseous celestial body in proximity to, and the galaxy is filled with these types of celestial bodies. So just what you're seeing on the screen isn't going to tell you exactly what you're looking at.
Hmm.
Alrighty then.
So we need to do some scans.
We should try to figure out where we are.
Yeah.
Because I'm vaguely afraid I know what happened.
You think?
Are you vaguely afraid you know what happened?
I think maybe I know what happened, but let's confirm.
I'm going to emphasize the word afraid in that sentence.
I mean, we've been through this stuff before, but this has been kind of a chaotic day, to say the least.
Hastings
Sure.
is just not even paying attention and is continuing to replicate smoke bombs and grenades.
That's fair. After that
I've had
last
it.
fight, I kind of expected her to.
Hastings would have no reason to know that this is overly abnormal compared to all the other abnormal things I've done in the last 24 hours.
Right, all the
Yeah.
other weird stuff that's happened to Hastings in the last hour.
Hastings and
Had it.
Marcus are like, what?
I give up. I quit.
Fine.
I,
Probably fine.
I'm going to go on comms and be like, Lupine, that wasn't me.
I'm coming up to the bridge. I'm pretty sure last episode I was already on my way up to the bridge. I had just been woken up from the knockout gas with a bit of a headache.
Yeah, so you have all been basically someone came around, gave you a stimulant that overrode the knockout gas. Yeah, you have headaches, but you're all okay. Your stress has been recovered. Nobody is wounded or anything like that. And your 6 Romulans are now unconscious in the brig. And you can be on the bridge if you would like.
I'm gonna head up. Let's just make sure that those Romulans stay unconscious in the brig. Just for my peace of mind.
I mean, if you want them medically sedated, you could order security and medical staff to do something like that, or do you
Let's
just want
do
them in the
that.
brig and let them wake up?
I don't want them to wake up.
Okay.
Not after
All right.
that. That sucked. They shot at us. I'm still really upset. I don't like when people get hurt. I have respect for every life form. So
So murder those ones.
Actually, your medical staff seems to be rather upset at the moment.
well, I'm not surprised. I mean,
They're having a problem because one of their doctors is behaving very strangely, and I'm not sure if you recall, but you have a
that's
bunch of alarms going off.
right.
Oh,
One of my doctors is behaving strangely. I think that my co-head doctor would know that knocking that person out would be acceptable under my reign on this ship. I say my reign.
It's not that they question the order.
Mhm.
It's they're busy.
That's fair. But I am getting reports of someone acting strangely.
Yeah, so I'm going to assume you're on your way to the bridge and you're trying to give that order on your comms,
Mhm.
and because we're not at combat area
On
quite yet.
secure comms, yeah.
Yeah. And so what you're hearing from one of you, the nurses down there in sickbay, is everybody is kind of trying to deal with Dr. Utir, who he was in the middle of doing some routine medical something or other, and then he just kind of went catatonic for a minute, and then he sat cross-legged on the floor and put his hands on his head, and now he just won't move.
Right.
Great.
Zolorna,
yeah,
I need to go to the med bay. Please hold.
no problem. I need to figure out where in the galaxy we are, or
Okay.
which galaxy where we are.
Okay. Please use secure comms.
All right, so
yeah.
the captain's headed for sick bay. The first officer's headed for the bridge.
The
Your
first officer
borrowed
should
diplomat
still be
is replicating bombs. What is Ensign Varath doing?
He's tempted to go pack his bags because he's ready to go back to play with the Klingons after this, but probably back to his station.
All right, I'm going to assume that's on the bridge. So the two of you are on the bridge. Who would like to go first, the bridge or the sick bay?
I would like to go first.
All right. All righty then. You are headed for the bridge. You turn around and start running back for the turbo lift and take yourself to the sick bay.
Yep.
And as you walk in, you can see that there are several doctors and medical staff trying to deal with Dr. Utir. And you know Utir. He's a Betazoid doctor that has been on the Van Valkenburg since the beginning. He was on the Chaucer when you went to the Chaucer, and then he went back to the Van with you.
Yeah. Mhm.
And this goes back to the beginning of the Van when with the Zenkethi and all of that stuff. He's been on since then.
Yeah.
So he's one of your former guys when you were chief medical. And he's just sitting on the floor, cross-legged with his hands on his head.
All right. I'm going to clear them off Utir and have them go deal with other various things. Although I am going to have my head doctor sit next to me because she probably knows what's going to happen next. Tehrani, right?
Yes. Tehrani is your chief medical.
All right. Of course she is. I love her to death. I'm going to sit cross-legged across from Utir, and I'm going to try and knock into that brain of his. And see
All right.
what the heck is going on?
Give me presence and command.
Why do you always choose like my lowest discipline? Let's see. So I'm trying to hit a 13 and I rolled a 5 and a 4.
All right.
Wow.
Do you have any focuses that might apply to this?
I have team dynamics. I have xenobiology. I have in my values, leave no man behind, seen too much to be surprised, mind and body must stay healthy, and utmost respect for life. So I'm very concerned about my crewmate right now, and I need him to be healthy, and I need to figure out what the heck.
I don't think
is
any of
going
those
on.
focuses are going to give you a.
None of those focuses. I got life science, physical, carousing, leadership as well.
Okay. None of the
Carousing.
focuses are-
That one's
carousing.
useful.
However, you got 2 successes. You only needed 1.
Oh, cool.
There's a momentum.
Yay,
Into your
momentum.
momentum pool. Unless you would like to spend that momentum to gain more information, and I will let you hold off on that decision until I tell you what you find out first.
Beautiful. Yeah, tell me. What
Okay.
you got?
You get into Dr. Utir.
Mhm.
He's in there, but he is not driving. There is someone else in his head with him.
There's someone driving. Cool. Can I kind of pinpoint where that person is driving? Like where
Yeah.
they're driving from in his head?
It's almost like 2 souls in the same body.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you want more, you can spend this.
Yeah, I'm gonna spend that momentum. I will take that bait.
This is very familiar looking. What is in
Familiar.
here with him, you have seen this before. It is definitely a Lamemdan inside Dr. Utir's head.
What?
And since you spent the momentum, I will give you one more. Dr. Utir is not fighting the Lamemdan. He is conscious enough to know what's going on, but he is not fighting the Lamemdan.
I wonder because we had kind of sometimes this symbiosis, very early on in our ship wanderings. I want to talk to this Lamemdan.
Okay, are you going to do it telepathically? Because, and I'm going to give you this for free, the Lamemdans can possess people, and Betazoids are especially vulnerable to possession. And if you are telepathically communicating, the gate is open.
Yeah, I'm not going to telepathically communicate because I would know better. So I am going to reach out and kind of plant my hands over Udir's very gently. And I'm just going to say, everybody, I need you to clear out of the med bay.
Tehrani, do you want me to go too, or do you want me to stay?
Tehrani, definitely stay. You've seen this before. You've got clearance. All right. So I know that Commander Udir is here, but someone else is, as we would say, driving the ship. Hello. How are you?
Are you the captain?
I am the captain. Who are you?
My name is Paizi. I'm with the Commonwealth.
Have we met before?
No, I don't think so. I've never seen your ship here before or anything like this.
Did you just pop in recently?
Yes, I was actually a spy on the Romulan ship that you attacked.
Oh, okay. So you are friendly to us in a way.
I would hope so. I feel like we have a common problem.
Okay. How can I help?
Well, Dr. Utir, first of all, I communicated with him and got his permission. We don't usually do this. We're not allowed to just possess people randomly. But this seemed like a very extraordinary situation.
Mm-hmm. You also
And-
chose wisely because Dr. Utir has encountered Lamendans before.
He expressed that to me
Mm.
and was very accepting. And I'm very grateful that he's willing to let me be part of this and allow me to communicate with you. It was us that brought you, well, removed you from that location. We're sort of, it's a little confusing and it's a little complicated, but we knew that there was more Romulan ships on their way and that we would be outnumbered and outclassed. So we moved you.
Okay. Well, in that case, thank you very much because we were in kind of a desperate situation.
You're welcome.
Where are we as far as time, as far as space? Because I know that we can shift outside of probably the norm of ships that you've seen before.
Well, time would be the normal time. I'm not sure what you mean by time. You just materialized in my time. So it's very difficult for me to say. I mean, it's Joe's 2380, right?
No, it should be 23. Oh shoot, I'd have to look at my notes. It's the 2330s, I think.
2330, something like that.
So we've jumped.
Although he's probably
back?
going to say,
Is
you
that
know,
right?
it's 273 of the Commonwealth. You know, he's
Yeah,
not gonna.
But I
The
can do
number
that
isn't gonna
math.
make sense.
I can do that math though, because we've encountered the Lamendans, so we would know their numbering system per se.
Plausibly.
So we jumped ahead in time. Is that right, Joe?
No,
Or backwards?
you jumped backwards about 20 years.
Okay. And where exactly are we right now?
I actually am not sure.
Okay.
The gateway that I used picks a location based on where I am.
Okay.
So I hear geeking. So it picks a location based on where I am, and I have never seen this ship before. So it picked it based on this ship. I'm
Okay.
not sure where it would have gone, but I told it to go away from the fight.
All right. Not a bad choice. We can figure it out, you know, as long as we're safe. And it seems like we're safe.
And that seems like a good chance to cut to the bridge. First Officer Commander Jurath and one of the science officers, Ensign Vrath, are both arriving on the bridge now. You see what is shared on the screen as what's on the view screen right now.
I'm assuming based on the other kind of stuff I have that I've noticed that we're not in Kansas anymore.
Well, you're not where you were because you were not close to any celestial bodies before. You were in interstellar space, kind of between star systems. The nearest star system was, 5 or 6 light years away. And now you seem to be pretty much in orbit of something big and rocky.
Can we attempt to do a kind of scan of the stars and stuff in the area to try to figure out where we might be?
Sure. So you will. Who's going to do it? Is it going to be you personally?
Yeah, I think so, because this is temporal mechanics.
Okay.
If Verath wants to assist, though, I wouldn't, not like I would.
Okay, so you and the ensign are going to work together on this. Both of you. So Luna, you're going to give me for Jurath. She's primary.
Okay.
2 dice of, let's call it con and science. And Brett, for Marcus, give me 1 die of con and science.
Con and science are both disciplines. So
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Reason?
Yeah, sure. Reason and science. Sorry
Con
about that.
science would be conscience.
And
Yeah.
I guess it doesn't really matter if we use the ship because the ship doesn't have science on it yet.
No, but if you want to take a 4th die for the ship, that's fine. Then it would be sensors and science.
Marcus, I'll let you roll that one.
I rolled a 6, needed 14.
All right, so we have a success.
And then I'm getting an 8 and a 7. Neither of them is below my focus, but those are both successes.
All right, and what does your ship do?
Marcus, did you want to roll the ship?
What am I rolling? I don't have the ship stats in front of me, but what do I need to shoot for?
I think it's a 9 from yesterday, but I don't have them in front of me quite yet either. So let me pull that up.
I rolled a 14 on that one.
The ship does not help you.
Yeah.
All right, so you got 3 successes. Here's the good news. It's a pretty easy thing to scan, so you just generated 2 momentum. What you are looking at in the foreground is definitely the moon Titan.
Triton.
Triton, in orbit of Neptune. Thank you, Guy.
Yep. Sorry. It's a nitpicky thing, but
You are definitely in the Sol system in Sector 001. In orbit of Triton, which is in orbit of Neptune.
Oh, well, this is a great deal closer to that Earth planet they're always talking about than I've ever been.
However,
Other than an academy, yeah.
I'm going to give you this one for free. And if you want more information, there's 2 momentum you can spend. There should be Starfleet facilities right about where you're at in orbit here. Triton is a pretty active moon in terms of Starfleet activity. So there shouldn't be a spot in the orbit where you can't see some kind of Starfleet activity. The Academy uses it for a lot of pilot training. There's a major shipyards here. There's a small, essentially command base for the area. A lot of transfers of ships will gather and meet in this area. You should be seeing activity. And
yeah, but this isn't a Starfleet universe. We were at least originally in Emperor Spock's universe.
Correct.
So
And I'll give you this: the sensors, you're still in the Emperor Spock universe.
okay,
But you've been in the Emperor Spock universe before in this
Right.
in this star system, and it had a lot of activity. It was the capital of the Terran or of the Union of Planets. There's
Okay.
nothing. There's no activity around Triton right now.
that was what I was going to ask was okay. So
Can we?
very possible that the
Hello, John. Hello, Jimmy. I'm just saying hello to the people who are in the motor pool.
so it's possible they never formed their alliance. Possible this weird Earthlings never even made it off their planet. I mean, they were in the process of destroying it anyway. Who's
That's what I was going to say. Is there a way that we could tell like the year on Earth at this point, or are we kind of just stuck?
You can work on that in a moment, and let us cut back to the sick bay, and they can continue with what they're doing.
Oh my god.
So
All right.
Pisey asks, so who are you and why are you here?
Well, Commander, we find that we were trying to help out a Romulan ship in our part and time of space. And unfortunately, that meant us folding into a different universe so that we could get the Romulans and us away.
Wow. So
And wound
folding
up in a
into
lot of
our
trouble.
universe, I'm not sure what that means.
Well, I'm guessing we aren't home.
I've never seen your ship before
All
or
right.
anything like that. What group do you belong to? Or you're not Commonwealth and you're not Romulan.
Nope, we are part of Starfleet. But let me radio my bridge. Let me open the frequency. So hang on just a second. I'm gonna pop. All right,
hello?
where are we?
I think we're outside of Neptune.
Okay.
We're around Neptune, Captain, but time and the universe, I do not know where else we are other than Neptune around Triton.
I believe we are still in what I am going to call Spock's Universe D, which I think now maybe should be called Romulan Empire or something. I'm going to have to work on mapping these in a bit.
In other words,
Okay.
we have no clue what's going on at this moment, other than we're in 001 as far as our location goes. We are still investigating. Please hold.
All right. My biggest concern is, are we in our universe or are we still in a different universe?
We are not in Prime. I believe
Okay.
we are in 1B instead of 1A. I was aiming for 1A.
All right. Just to confirm, is that Emperor Spock's universe?
Yes, 1A would have been Emperor Spock's universe, as opposed to Terran Empire universe. And
Okay.
C1. Actually, I think this is the one Giraffe came. Well, 1A was the one Giraffe came from. We may have changed the timeline and spun off another possibility. In fact, I'm about 80% certain that happened. I just can't tell you exactly what possibility it is.
Okay. Okay. All right. So I will turn and I will say, so we are possibly not even from your universe. We are in Emperor Spock's universe. So we're not from your universe. We're from a different universe where there is an intergalactic alliance called the Federation. And we're mainly scientific, but sometimes we've got, some military roots. It just kind of depends. But mostly our mission is to seek out new life forms and make connections and to go where people haven't really been before.
And we seem to have succeeded at that.
Yeah.
So this Federation, like 10 ships, 100 ships? What's the size of this Federation?
Well, the Federation's pretty big. It not only spans, the galaxy, it expands races. Like I am what's known as a Beta Z. You are in Udir, is that right? Udir's
Yes.
head right now. He is
Yes.
also a Beta Z, so he's a telepath like me. We're humanoids. There are also humans, which are fleshy creatures who don't have our telepathic abilities. There are some Vulcans who do have some telepathic abilities and emotional abilities, but they choose to kind of repress them in view of logic and knowledge. There are Romulans in our universe who are very emotionally based, emotionally driven. We've got a lot of different races.
Romulans don't sound any different than our Romulans, I guess.
I mean, Romulan's a Romulan, let's be honest. I've got a Trill on board who is a host and another being tied together as one, which is super interesting. They're really cool. And, we are on a scientific mission, and we're really trying to help some Romulans who are out of time and out of space. Just this ship full of women who are carrying out into the stars, going to kind of a bad place in our universe, but we were trying to assist them when we ran into hostile Romulans, which I'm sure you've dealt with before. And so we hopped into the mirror universe. We call this the mirror universe because it's not ours. It mirrors ours, but is not the same. And we happened to hop again, thanks to you. So here we are.
Oh, I'm hoping that all I did was hop you in space, not in universes.
It seems like
said
you have, yeah.
A lot of words, though, that I don't recognize.
Fair.
So the Commonwealth is Kobliad, Lamendin, Zenkethi, Falina, and those are pretty much those four worlds. And we've got a handful of vessels, but the Romulans keep pushing us and keep pushing us and keep pushing us.
Gotcha.
I don't know where you are. I don't think I've ever seen this system before. I heard you talking about it, but I don't know what a Triton is, and I don't know what a Neptune is. So I'm not sure where this world is that you're talking about. So
sure. I, for one, am very happy to see Triton and Neptune because they are in the solar system where my parents were born. So I'm very excited to see this. I haven't been to Earth in a very long time, and I haven't been to your version of Earth, which is also known as Terra occasionally.
Terra. Yeah, that name. I know that name.
You do? Okay. Is it a good place in this universe? I really hope so.
It wasn't a good place, but it's fine now.
It's fine now?
Because it was destroyed.
Just gonna sob a little bit about that.
Well, I mean, it was a long time ago. It was like almost 200 years ago. But yeah, the Earth is that empire, that Terran empire. We still tell stories about it. It was an interesting place, but it's been gone for a while.
In my universe, they joined the Federation of Planets maybe a little later than others, but they figured themselves out. Humans are Terrans. Terrans can be very strange, but some of them can be very good. My parents were two of them. They're farmers, and I love them very much.
Well, your doctor seems to be very fond of them.
Yeah.
So I had kind of wondered, because a lot of the things, of course, I'm picking up are feelings, and it's not very clear.
Sure.
But it's all starting to make a lot more sense to me. I can kind of understand some of the races you're talking about. I'm sorry to say that some of those are also gone.
Oh, really? Who else is gone in this universe?
I've never seen a Trill. And I know that Beta Zeds are people that once existed, but I don't think I've ever seen them either. I just knew that this was a empathic person, telepathic person, but I don't think that world exists either.
Punch, punch, punch. Oh, God. You know, alternate universes, man.
Ouch.
They hurt. now I
I'm
get a
very,
little
very
bit.
sorry. I mean,
I get a little bit of like how Zolarina feels. Like, honestly, you know, she's really devastated to find out that Taryn is gone, especially because it's very important to her parents, right? Because Lupine was raised by 2 humans. She was adopted. And to find out the Beta Z is gone and to find out the Trill is gone, like, wow. This universe is messed up. It's the wrong place to be for her. All right, so she's going to kind of gather herself a little bit. Just give me a second. I'd like you to come with me to the bridge because I think we can help each other, and I really hope so. I'm going to keep this channel of communication open. So any questions you have, any comments you have, any, anything that you'd like to remark upon, I'm happy to talk about because our universes are vastly different.
yeah, they are.
But let's go to the bridge and see if we can figure out a way. First of all, we need to figure out what to do with these Romulans that we've captured, and how to help you in a way, because unfortunately these aren't good people, and I'm not sure what to do with them, but I can't rightly keep them hostage forever because they are not my people and we're not even from the same world.
I understand. I will happily help you. The doctor is willing to let me live here for a little while longer. If that's okay with you, I don't have any place else to go at this point.
I'm not worried about it. I've worked with Lamendans before in my universe. I'm not concerned in any way, and I really thank you for asking permission first and talking to him. That really kind of, it just makes me feel a lot better.
Like I said, it's against Commonwealth law for me to take over someone without their permission. And
Gotcha.
So we aren't allowed to do that. So it was nice of him because I kind of had to take over and then ask permission, but it got better. So I have a feeling you guys have dealt with my people before.
Yes.
I get that impression. So that seems like a good thing.
It's a great thing. I loved working with your people, honestly. I have never had a problem. I have a dear friend who is still in my universe that I haven't spoken to in a really long time, and I really do miss him.
I'm going to interrupt you for just a second.
Yep.
I have a question, Chelsea.
I might have an answer.
Are you trying to bamboozle this guy, or are you, as a player, confusing the Zenkethi and the Lamendans?
I'm a little bit confusing the two. I do remember that the Lamendans are not necessarily nice, but I would rather bamboozle them than not.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Give me a presence and command roll.
Presence and command, okay.
Because
And
Paisley, of course, is thinking that you guys all like the Lamendans.
We kind of distrust them, but honestly, like, he has put me in a place I can't gender that. Actually, this being has put me in a place where I am safe currently, and
Welcome,
this
Pam.
being
Welcome
is
to the
also
show. Welcome to the
isolated
game.
right now, so it's okay. So I am bamboozling. All right. You
all
said
right, so hold
command
off.
and-
Don't give me the results.
What was
Yep.
the other command and presence? Okay.
Yeah, hold off. Don't give me the results. Guy, I'm going to send you some stats, or I'm going to send you a target number.
Okay.
And I need you to make the same. I'll need you to make a roll against that target number to see.
And I'll just send you the
if
results.
you
So
figure out
send
that
me the
she's
number
lying.
and I'll send you the results.
Okay.
Actually, I could just, oh gosh, I could just send them to you.
Back and forth.
Okay. What were your rolls?
So I got one success. I got a 6 on the die, and I needed to hit a 13, and the other one is a failure at a 17.
Okay. All right. So you guys are walking to the bridge. Let me cut back to the bridge for a moment. Actually, Hastings, I think by now you have replicated as many smoke bombs and grenades as you would like.
I'm assuming so.
Yeah, it's not hard. You walk over and go, computer, replicate X number of smoke bombs, and the computer says enter command authorization, and you do, and it does. So what would you like to do now?
Well, as I also you can tell me if I can't do this, replicated a belt to hide under my dress to hold all of that stuff. That also happened, and I then packed that gear away for myself for later, if you're good with that. If not, I just have a bag that I'm carrying with me full of stuff. And then I'm going to wander around to see what's going on. I don't care which one it is. I think the one looks cool, and the other one is just me with the bag. But honestly,
So I mean, hiding it under the dress that you're basically in the Troy style dress. That's
It's
tight
not-
enough.
oh no, you're right. You're right. Yeah, I'll just have a bag.
Okay, I was gonna say you could strap maybe one or two to your legs, but
Yeah, it wouldn't work. It wouldn't work. I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'll just. I have a bag that I'm confidently carrying with me, and I'm just gonna wander around to see. I don't know what happened. I felt the jerk, but none of us are dead, and I now have weapons, so I didn't really put much more thought into it than that. And it's been a really long couple of days. There have been universes I didn't know existed and didn't really want to know about, but now I do. So I'm not sure what's going to happen next. And I just resigned myself to the fact that I did something to piss someone off, and this is my punishment.
okay. It does occur to you that you had requested from a particular admiral the chance to get some field experience, and this is where that admiral sent you.
I think I pissed off the admiral.
All right, so you've got your bag full of bombs. Where are you going?
I am, well, let's see. I'm probably going to head to engineering first to see how the ship repairs are going, because no one's called my name over comm, so I'm assuming we're not in the middle of a conference with another race.
Okay, so you arrive at engineering, and good news, the fire is out.
Huzzah!
Most of the people in engineering are scrambling around trying to repair a lot of damaged stuff. Also, engineering looks very strange to you. There's some equipment in engineering that you have never seen before. And then a lieutenant comes up to you and goes, "Who are you? Are you authorized to be in this section?"
Well, I thought so.
Okay, you have to
Right?
leave.
I was gonna say I think she's third in command, so theoretically.
I was like,
She's not assigned to the van. She's assigned to the versatility.
Yeah.
oh, that's right. So I'll say that. I'll say, oh, I'm sorry. I'm actually assigned to the versatility, but we're on the trip together. I'm a commander. We just haven't met yet, and things have been crazy. So I thought I would check in and see how things are going. So
Until I get clearance for you to be down here, you have to leave.
I show my badge. Do I have a badge?
No, you don't have clearance until I get clearance for you to be in here. You have to leave.
I stab him. I don't stab him. I won't. Give some people to give me what I want. I just want to go back to the hearing room.
Don't stab it.
I wouldn't stab him. I wouldn't do that.
Stop stabbing people.
Stop stabbing everybody. That's not the solution. Okay, well, I'll just shrug and say, all right, well, who do I need to talk to for clearance? Like, who do you answer to? Do I need to go to Lupine, or is there someone else I need to ask first? Like, what's your preference?
I get my orders from Commander Masath, who's chief engineer. But Commander Masath is awfully busy right now. Maybe you should go talk to the captain.
Fine. I'll wander over to the bridge to talk to the captain about the fact that I'm on this stupid ship and don't even have clearance when I should have clearance. And all I wanted to do was check in to see how everything was going, because
You trying to be helpful and everything.
So, and I'm going to give you this one for free. You are commander in Starfleet. You've been in Starfleet probably 15, 20 years. you have never gone on a ship as an officer in Starfleet and not been allowed in that ship's engineering section.
I pull out a bomb.
Not
All right, so you're headed to the bridge. What are we doing on the bridge?
Oh, dear sweet Jesus. All right, so I'm going to introduce Zolarina to our friendo here.
Hi,
And we've got a friend here who's been able to get us here and away from the Romulans. They are part of the, what is it called again here?
the Commonwealth. I'm
The
part of the
Commonwealth.
Commonwealth.
The Commonwealth of Planets. So our biggest thing is to kind of work together so that we can help them kind of chill out the Romulans and then we can get home.
Is that the moment I walk out onto the
And
bridge?
she's probably going to do a secret signal to Zolarina, like, lie through your freaking teeth, woman. I swear to God.
And as someone who's never
Is this how you say hello? Oh, okay.
No, my chin gets really
The
itchy.
thing is,
I have
All
psoriasis.
right, so
Okay.
let me interrupt you guys.
You
for a
know
second.
how to connect with my mind.
Right.
Yes,
if
but
you want to
so
try
does
that.
this guy, though.
Oh, okay.
We're doing the secret signal because this person can read minds.
Unfortunately, I understand
It's a
I
Cthulhu
understand
signal.
numbers better than people, so I feel like I'm gonna have to figure out whether I know what she's talking about.
All right, so Chelsea,
Hmm.
give me insight and command.
Insight and command. All right.
and while she's
Luna,
I'm sorry.
give me. I'm going to make this a difficulty 3, but you need it between the two of you. I'm bending the rules a little bit. Luna, give me insight and yeah, I'm going to go with command as well.
I was aiming
Okay.
for a 15 and I got a 4 and a 13, so that's 2 successes, baby.
Now, Joe,
I got one success and I got a 19, which might be a failure. I mean, might be a bad
might be.
failure.
It might be. V, give me a minute, Hastings. Let me
yeah,
deal
no
with this and I'll get back to you. But I will bring you in just a second.
that wasn't my question, but go for it. It
Okay.
doesn't matter.
All right. So, hang on. All right. So, how many successes do we have?
Well, I
We
got
You got 2 and I got 1, but then my other one was really bad.
Okay. All right. Stand by.
oh god. Are you texting each other?
Why would you think
Yes.
that?
Wait, why do you ask? You know.
All right. Well, while we're waiting to see if I'm texting anyone, go ahead, Hastings. Tell me your question. Ask me your question.
The question was, as I'm half Betazoid, so I don't know if I was going to offer to see if I could help with their role at all with Captain Lupines. I'm still unclear in the universe how being a Betazoid works in roleplay situations like this, so I wasn't sure if it would benefit her to have someone else on the
Gotcha. I dig. Not in this situation because she's trying to do a one-on-one communication that doesn't
Cool.
involve Hastings.
And that was the question. So
That was
it.
a great question. Okay, I'm sorry. Thank you.
She's also trying to do a one-on-one communication without using any of the Betazoid powers, which would have made this a whole lot easier.
Yeah.
There's a point where this is like it's real bad to use telepathic abilities. Like, hey, this guy might be a bad guy, and we're bamboozling him. Okay.
Guy, did you get my text?
Actually, no, I have not. I've been waiting for it.
Oh,
All right. Did it come through just now?
yeah, it just came through now.
Okay. Okay.
I don't like that sound.
I don't like it either.
It's okay. If it helps any Lupin though, the fact that whatever this is managed to do this ship jump was real impressive to Giraffe. Zolarina's the one who doesn't trust him. because I'm two people.
Two people, one mind.
That's basically what a joined trill is.
Alrighty then, go on. So, Jarath, you get the message. You understand that she's telling you. She's basically giving you sign language to say, "I'm telling this guy some lies. Back me up here."
Got it. Cool.
Yeah.
Yay!
So
Maybe
this
it'll
is
work.
where it jumped us?
Say that again.
So they're the one who jumped us?
Yes.
That was impressive.
Yeah.
I mean, kind of common technology for us, but I guess you guys are from a different universe, so diverging technologies.
I mean,
don't
we
know.
can do this too, but just not this way.
Well, can't do it anymore.
And I really only see the doctor because I don't know that the doctor is possessed. So I'll just walk in and ask the captain.
I've never actually jumped from location to location that wasn't.
Hastings, you walk in just as she says that.
Great. Captain, am I allowed in engineering? I'm allowed in engineering, right? That's a thing I can do.
I know you're still new to our ship when we jumped, so let me give you a briefing really quickly. Delorina, I will leave you with our friend here. Hastings, come with me, please.
I will follow Captain Lupine with my bag of explosives and smoke things.
Okay.
I'm not
Who
afraid
wants to
to
go
use
first? Captain and Hastings or the bridge?
Go ahead, Delorina.
Lupine, if you're doing that briefing, you may want to take Barath with you too.
That's right. All right, I will say.
Rebellious Pastry has joined us from YouTube.
Hello, Rebellious Pastry.
I just always love that
Hello.
name. It's a
Hello.
great name.
That is a great name.
But they've been with us before, so I'm familiar. I think that they know Troy. So
Excellent.
if I understand correctly. Good night, Pam. See you
If
later.
there are 3 of you in that scene, you may want to do that first.
No.
Should we do that first?
Sure.
Oh man. All right.
Unless you want me to talk to your doctor guy, who I'm a little confused as to why you're introducing me to him. But,
So
I was going to say, you're just going to leave him on the bridge standing there going, well, this is the thing.
we're gonna sit. I'm gonna sit at my desk. That is not full of bodies, thankfully.
That you recall.
not yet.
Not with that attitude.
What is your
Yeah.
Captain Lupine? What is your current emotional state? If you had to give me a couple words on it, because I am an empath, so I don't know what I'm feeling right now.
Is trepidation the right word?
Let me give a quick break real quick here for Rebellious Pastry. We're playing Star Trek Adventures. It's a Modifius role-playing game. It's the newest of the Star Trek RPGs. And Joe and I are co-GMing. And then the captain is Chelsea. And this scene's kind of complicated. We got Chelsea, we got Hastings, who's a commander, and we got Ensign Varath, who's Brent down there, and then we've got Commander Jarath, who's the first officer of the ship Van Valkenburg. So this is actually season 9 for this particular game. We started as a FASA game a long time ago and moved to the Modifius system. and we've been playing for a very, very long time. So I hope that's a quick brief for you. They are, and then I hope we can kind of catch you up on the rest of it as time goes on. Sorry, thanks, guys.
I think Lupine's about to do that anyway.
So
Yep.
fine. How's I just and to be clear, Captain Lupine Hastings is not a telepath. She's never been, but she is a very strong empath. So feelings, not words. I don't read minds.
Okay. So we got a lot to cover and not much time. So I need to bring you both up to speed pretty quickly on some things that honestly you shouldn't know yet, but now you need to know.
So she's feeling stressed and pressed for time. What else is she feeling?
God. Still a little panicky, a little self-confident after being able to kind of bluff her way through the Lamendon. Stressed that her ship is still in another universe. Utterly panicked that the Romulan ship might be screwed. Disconnected from a person that she really does need to be connected to, because she and Hashimoto are kind of tied together. So just, it's a lot of conflicting emotions right now. Like, there are a lot of joys and there's a lot of anxiety. There's a lot of stress.
Okay, fair enough.
Luna, at this point, even though you're not connected to Hashimoto because there's no way in hell. I'm sorry, Chelsea, did I say Luna? I'm trying to type a text to Luna. You can totally hear, though, in your head, Hashimoto at this moment saying, "It'll be fine." And it doesn't make you feel any better.
No.
Meanwhile, out on the bridge is Marcus and the Lamendon, and Lamendon's like, "So this is prune juice, you say?"
I thought Marcus had come with us. Did Marcus?
That
not come with
Marcus that's there. I'm just sitting here going, I know you, Doctor. Is there a specific reason you're on the bridge?
I offer coffee.
So this is coffee, you say?
Coffee. Yeah. It's really good.
So Captain, engineering, like, it's not like I need anything from engineering. It just looks weird down there, and guy was being kind of a jerk, and I'm worried that the Romulans did something, and I don't know. I just want to know what we're gonna do about that. So what's the plan? What's going on?
So our biggest thing is we need to get home, and by I mean home, we need to get to our dimension. We are in a different dimension. Our ship specifically, and this is classified, has been outfitted with gear that flips us into different dimensions, primarily that of Emperor Spock, which is strange and chaotic and crazy, but it's kind of what saved us, because we were able to flip those Romulans here. And it looks like, I'm so sorry, I've been up since 2 a.m. It's flipped us here, and the Romulans were able to go further back in time. So we kind of have to fix that. We've got to find them. I didn't expect them to be able to jump, which is a big problem. I had hoped to trap them here and force them into a discussion instead of the BS that we were getting. So it's a lot, but we are in another universe. We are in another physical representation of our universe in which Earth is non-existent and Betazoid is non-existent, and Trill is non-existent. So
Hastings is just going to stand there nodding for a minute, and then she's going to walk over to the replicator, and she's going to say, "Whiskey sour, traditional." And then she's going to drink it. She's going to say, "That's fine," and walk out of the room.
And I will give you clearance for engineering, so you can get into engineering.
She's going to take her drink down to engineering and make demands about understanding this technology, which we do not have to roleplay. That's not a thing. But I think the correct response is just, okay, this is not great, and there's nothing I can do about it. But apparently, my home planet and my other home planet are gone now. And we're in another dimension, and I thought we already were in another dimension. So how many are there? You know what? I'm just gonna drink, even though this is synthahol, and I know it is, so I can't get drunk. I'm gonna pretend because I need this right now, and then I'm gonna walk. Gonna go talk to people in engineering about what the fuck is going on in engineering, and then I'm gonna go with it. That's it, because my science is terrible. I have a very low. I don't even understand what's going on in there anyway. The only reason I can identify that it's different is because it looks different from when I was in training. So I'm just going to go downstairs and generally irritate people until they explain what buttons do.
Well,
I genuinely think it would be really fun to play that scene out as my other former character. And
It's okay with me.
She tries to explain it to.
That's okay with me.
We can do that in a bit. Wait, I know we're already doing another scene on the bridge, so I'm just going to wander. Hastings is going to, holding a bag of explosives while drinking a whiskey sour, meander toward engineering. And that is the end of my scene. So continue to the bridge.
Alrighty then. Marcus Verath.
I was in there.
You were in there. You heard that conversation in the captain's ready room.
Okay.
So Marcus was in the ready room too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you guys just left me on the bridge all by myself.
No.
Lorena was in there with you. Was there with you.
So
Kind of
you were
explain.
with me.
The single least personable person you could be with is left on the bridge with you.
So really, it was me going. So this is prune juice, and you're like, yeah, sure, whatever.
Yes, that is prune juice.
So, Captain, I have no clue why I've been assigned to your ship, but I will do my job and help you out as the best I can.
Thank
I don't even know who assigned me, but what do you need me to do?
Just wondering who she made mad.
Keep the ship running as best you can. Oh,
All right. Back on the bridge. What goes on there, Paisley and Commander Giraffe?
So how exactly did you fold us over here, or what did you do? I'm really curious.
I mean, we Lememdans have the ability to do a certain amount of this, but I have an amplifier on a shuttle. Although the shuttle is probably very much gone now. I usually kept it about 5 minutes in the future so that it was displaced so that they couldn't find it.
Makes sense.
But I'm pretty sure that it's gone now. And so I don't have the ability to do this again. Besides, it took almost all my energy to do this. I'm very tired.
Okay.
So
While he's talking, I'm gonna glance over at the plaque. Ojo.
There it is. Would someone share that, please?
I will share that.
Is there something I should be seeing here?
you haven't been commissioned yet. In this
Not only have
timeline.
you not been commissioned, where are you?
Well, I know we.
Oh, Neptune.
I mean, I know we were.
Oh,
Is
super
this the
great
same plaque that it
Neptune.
always was, or is something about the plaque changed? Because I'm the only one who actually understands that we aren't in the same place that we were.
As far as you remember, the plaque looks exactly the same as it always has.
Okay. So what's different is that there's nothing on this Neptune. But that's because the Neptune that it was commissioned on is a different Neptune.
Give me reason and science.
Okay. 10 and a 16, which is under 17.
Okay. So what's bothering you is you realize The spot that you're at is exactly where the Triton shipyards should be if you were in your own universe. It has taken the ship back to its point of origin.
He summoned the ship home.
Oh.
Except that it's in the wrong universe, so it's the closest equivalent.
Actually, that might be convenient. We may be able to go back to ourselves, except that we'll run into ourselves. I hate that.
Yay!
I mean, we might become shiny and new. This was an interesting choice of location to send us.
I have no idea why it sent you here. I did what I could to get you out of there. I think that this was either subconscious or could be extra universal. I have no idea. I don't know why it did it.
Can I ask you what your motive was in getting us out of there at all?
Oh yes, there were, by last count, 6 or 7 warbirds heading into your location. They seemed very interested in you. I don't know why, but they seemed very interested in you. So it seemed to be best to just pull you out. Kind of wanted to bring you back to the Commonwealth, but apparently that didn't work. I don't know.
Where is the Commonwealth?
I have no idea where I am, but I assume it's not here. Well, no, I know that we're at Earth. It's a long way from here.
Right.
I mean, I'm not sure
guys
whether our
Probably have
our
it named
worlds are the
quadrant.
same, but I mean, the Commonwealth covers Kobliad, Lememda, Zenketh, and Falina. So, I mean, if those are the same worlds that you know, then I don't think it's any different.
I'm going to presume those are in the same places that they were. I don't see any reason why you would have moved that. Are you yourself a temporal mechanic?
I'm sorry?
Well, you seem to have moved us, so I'm assuming you're also a temporal mechanic.
Frankly, I'm a spy. I'm really not good at any of this stuff. I just pulled the eject handle.
Ah,
I mean, I really just pretty much just got us out of there.
so you're a
And
spy who was spying on the Romulans?
yes, I was at the time that you were that you showed up. I was probably
We might have at least a common goal here.
yes. That's what I thought too. Just kind of getting into. I have to look up the doctor's name. Utir. Utir and I have been sort of not communicating per se, but sort of communing, if you will. And I have a feeling that we're working toward a similar goal.
Is Utir okay with you being in there?
Yes.
Because- okay.
But the Commonwealth is not allowed to take over people that, you know, by regulation, we're not allowed to without their permission.
Okay.
There are, of course, a handful of exceptions, as you being a military officer would appreciate.
I can understand that. It's just in my many years and times, I have run into telepathic races that don't necessarily agree about that permission thing. So wanted to make sure because sometimes it causes problems.
Right.
On the other hand, our doctor seemed okay with your existence, so I figured you're probably more on the up and up than I would have expected.
And as soon as we're done with whatever it is we're going to do, of course, I will give the doctor back his body. I feel sort of bad about hijacking it. But desperate times.
Now, there is a slight problem in that it sounds like you probably want to get back to the Commonwealth, and unfortunately, you've brought us to what I am presuming is exactly the opposite side of space.
All right,
From
let me
that.
interrupt you for a second and jump in here with this map. Okay.
Yes, please.
I don't. Can you see my mouse moving on the screen? I don't think you can.
No, I don't think
No.
your mouse shares.
Okay. Do you guys see Sol, where Earth is?
Sol is in the dead center there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Center
yeah.
of
All
the
those
concentric
rings at the very center of that is Earth. So that's where you guys are right now. If you look to the left side of the map, you see a kind of a green blob that says Zenkethi Coalition.
Yeah.
And right a little bit below and to the left of the T is Lamembia or Lamemda.
Mhm.
So Lamemda, Zenketh, right under the E is the planet, or is the star system Zenketh. So he mentioned that Lamembia and Zenketh, Kobliad and Farlina are the Commonwealth planets.
Mhm.
So Zenketh is right under the E. Lamemda is just below and to the left of the T. Kobliad, if in the word coalition, if you go straight down from the T, the first system you come to is Kobliad. And then to the left and a little below Kobliad is Falina.
Yep.
Okay. Now I'm going to zoom out. All right. So this is actually a map of your universe, and all the blue is Federation. This is not Federation. This is the Shackleton Expanse, which is where you guys are assigned to. This where it says known space to the right of the Romulan Empire, all that blue. That's not the
Yeah.
Federation yet in your time. That is because you guys are from 2345. That is the Shackleton Expanse.
I'm
So
just
if you
going to
look,
pop in here and say that we, at this point, could see your mouse, but it's on the other side of the map.
okay, so there's a delay.
The green star, Romulan Star Empire section in the middle, to the right of that is known space, says in the line there. That's the Shackleton Expanse.
And
His
we're-
mouse is offset for reasons that
make no sense.
are
to
known
any of us.
only to the programmers of the internet.
Right. So he jumped us to Sol, but who owns all of the stuff around Sol that we're going to have to go through?
All of
That's a
this
question.
area Is
So, but-
like
Oh, yeah.
different.
You're
It's
good.
going to be different.
All right.
However,
so
you
I'm
do
going to
know
take
the
this
little
down.
area over there where that yellow thing is pretty much where the Commonwealth is.
Right. Well, and because Trill isn't actually that far from there, if I'm correct.
Correct. Trill is if you go from the Zenkethi Coalition, and you see where the N and the end of Coalition is, go one box to the right of that and one box down, and Trill is a yellow star towards the top of that box.
Right.
So Trill
So,
is pretty
I feel
close to the Commonwealth. So is Betazoid, by the way.
I feel like my character would know the distance between Trill and Sol, and there is a whole lot of it.
Yeah.
It's a little awkward that all of these planets that don't really exist are in that area.
Well, they all, yeah. All right, so the boxes are 20 light years, and I think the rings are 20 light years, or 10 light years. So Sol to Trill would be 10, 20, 30, about 43 light years, maybe?
Right. Which wouldn't take that long if it weren't for the fact that we don't know what the Romulans own right now.
Right.
Yeah, we don't want to piss off all the Romulans going through their space.
Or if it's owned by possibly some other expansion. And it doesn't sound like our Lamendon friend knows either.
Which
mean-
makes it kind of worse for us in a way.
You can ask him, but really he's giving a lot of, I was specialized for this particular job. I can tell you that there are a lot of battlefields out there. lot of
Yeah.
dead ships.
So you're telling me that the Terrans stopped existing?
No, they're still there. I mean, if we wanted to go to Earth, you'll find them. But I kind of think that they'll try to throw rocks at you.
Oh,
I don't think they've been.
so they're no
haven't
longer
been a
space
thing for a
faring.
while.
Interesting. I mean,
Captain and Marcus, by now you guys are walking back onto the bridge as he says that.
I just go to my station and do my assigned duty.
What is your assigned duty?
Science, but I don't know where I'm at assigned to the ship.
I mean, part of why I just wanted him to do that briefing is because I am presuming, considering who sent him, that he's intended to be my assistant.
I don't even know what my job was. I was just assigned to the ship and told to go
does
here and
His
report.
science is the science. That's what he does. It's science.
What do you do? Science. But what is
I
science?
mean, it wouldn't be the first time that a Star Trek episode hasn't been real clear on what a person's role is.
Not wrong there.
Oh, man.
You just see me pushing random buttons.
Okay.
Pushes random buttons.
Yeah.
You know what?
Your job is to sit at a console and push the little green buttons when it blinks. That's your
Yeah.
job.
Marcus, give me reason and science. Give me a roll of reason and science.
Oh, yeah.
All right. 10 and 4, so I need a 14. Give me a second here. This actually made it easier. 2.
Do you tell me your focuses?
Espionage, xenobiology, computers, infectious diseases, investigation, and small craft.
All right, none of those help. What did your other dice get? Your other die.
I just rolled 1. Give me a second.
Yeah,
I'll roll a
two.
second. 14, right on the dot. Ooh.
Okay, so you hit your target number exactly, and you rolled below it with a 2.
Yeah.
Okay. No, here's the thing. I don't remember from last week. This information is not new to all the players, but it might be new to you. Or you may remember this, but your character didn't know it. Or maybe your character knew it. I can't remember. Something is wrong with the stars. And you check the sensors. It is not 2345.
Okay.
It's supposed to be 2345. It's not. You think, I mean, you're in a different universe, but the stars should be in the same positions. And there's a little bit of drift, and you calculate it as being 2324.
Okay. I think Marcus knew at that point, but okay.
I can't remember, and
Yeah.
I needed that on people's radar.
So the year is 2324.
It was 20, so it's right now 23-24, you said? Can
Yes.
you show me the plaque again?
Waiting for the plaque, like, yo.
There's a bunch of clicking.
Oh, dang it, guy!
I'm just trying to be helpful.
Oh,
Oh, so
okay.
do I know when the ship was commissioned?
Well, I mean,
because I've been in
The
Wow.
first officer, for some reason, is staring at the dedication plaque. So I would assume that you might think, why would the first officer be staring at the dedication plaque? And so you walk over and look at it, and that's what you see.
Oh.
Or I would assume you walk over and look at it. You don't have to.
Oh, if the first officer's sitting there staring at something that's random on the ship, and I'm like, what is going on here? Move, Zorina, move. So yeah, we're in the past. Okay, all right, Captain. Something's going on, Captain, and we are definitely at least 20-something years in the past.
Okay. No, we're a lot. I believe possibly a lot more than that.
I'm just. I'm not going to question anything anymore. Let me just sit here, do my job, push buttons. I'm putting in a request to go.
Push the
I'm
green
putting my
button.
request in to go somewhere else as soon as we get wherever it is that we're going to and somewhat home.
There's not a lot of somewhere else to go right now.
Assuming, Marcus, assuming that there's not something weird going on where the time in the universe is different, your sensor readings are telling you without a doubt the stars are in the positions that they should be in for it being 2324.
I don't. Oh.
How long after the ship was commissioned did we come from? Like, what was the date we came
The
from?
current year that you should be in is 2345.
Oh, so the
So
ship's only
two.
5 years old.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know if Starfleet.
It's
would
been a
do that
long
film.
5 years for those of us that have been aboard her.
I did.
Just saying.
I thought it was more like 30.
Let's take a quick bio break. How does that sound?
That sounds great.
Maybe
Yeah.
just a few minutes and come back.
Yep.
All right.
I feel like that is Joe's not so subtle way of saying he needs to consult.
Yep. We're in trouble.
Hi, kitten.
Geek Tank is sponsored in part by Geekway Homes. If you're a geek and you need a home, contact Geekway Homes at www.geekwayhomes.com. Also, we're sponsored by Kieran Games. If you need games, this is the place to go. Contact Kieran Games at kierangames.net. And finally, we're sponsored by Hexacon 2020. Coming up MLK weekend, Hexacon 2020. We're also sponsored by people like you. If you want to help us out, go to our Patreon page at patreon.com/Foxblade. Thank you. Now back to the show.
We're semi back.
Yeah. Sorry, I should have waited to go get water until we did that. I got really thirsty and I was like, well, I can hear the volume from my kitchen.
That's okay.
To get some water. Got back. Let's take a break, guys.
It was fine because you weren't on camera at the moment. I mean, your character was off screen, so you timed it just fine.
I mean, still important to hear. I don't want to just wander off. I was like, this isn't my scene. This doesn't matter. I'm out of here.
I'm in engineering.
I'm in engineering. I'm busy. I just also had I just don't drink very much these days. And so whenever I have whiskey or something like that, if I'm not the most hydrated ever, I get really bad headaches.
It's going to be unhappy in the morning.
I always carry around, like, I know it's cliche now, but like a hydro flask. And I had a Nalgene before then. You know what I mean? I just replaced it with this because stickers.
Hey, yeah, I have stickers on mine too. We're good.
But like,
yeah.
I just make sure that I drink 2 a day. And especially when I'm at work, I really try to drink 1 of these a day. Because at work where like I'm wearing a mask, I'm really trying to be conscious because I'm a baker. So I'm trying to make sure like I wash my hands after I use my water bottle and make sure it's in like a good space. You know what I mean?
So
it's a pain to drink water. So I try to drink more water.
I see this is Crystal Light because I love the taste of water, but I drink 2 of those pitchers every day since I work from home. When I'm not working from home, I carry around something about that size, and I try to drink 1 of those a day.
That's perfect.
Yeah, but it's I just forget about it, and then by the time I get to it, I'm like, oh, well, the ice is melted and it's lukewarm. Great.
Trying to drink a few of these, but
Are we back?
Yeah.
I think we're back.
Guys muted.
Why was I muted?
Wow.
I don't know.
I usually mute the board. That's why I was like, that's a strange thing. Maybe I must have clicked it whenever I was clicking stop the camera.
Commercials where we were gone.
Oh, that's why.
Because we
I
have sponsors.
feel like, I feel like that we must have a storm rolling in because I'm getting the sinus headaches again. So be warned, Chelsea. Usually whenever I get them, you get them.
I've had a sinus headache for the past 3 days.
Yeah.
I only get oh God, I hope that's not what's happening. I don't think I get sinus headaches so much as if there's ever going to be a major temperature shift of more than 20 degrees within a certain amount of time, I get terrible headaches that can last for a couple days, depending. Like this summer or this autumn, I don't remember what it was, but we went down by like 35 degrees in a day. And I just shut off the lights and hid in my room.
Yeah.
I slept for 20 hours last Monday.
Tylenol Sinus Severe.
Yeah.
Give those a try. Because it is the same thing with me. Whenever the barometer drops or when the temperature drops, it starts up here in the sinuses, but I don't feel it there. I feel it like back here in the back of my head.
Interesting.
So I don't know if that,
I didn't know that.
Give it a shot. I mean, the worst that'll happen is it won't work. You'll be in the same position you already are.
All right, guys. We're an hour and a half into the show.
Woo!
It's 9:15.
Woo!
So let's move along. I think we will Oh, okay. Luna's good. I don't know where Brent is, but
I'm
And
good.
he was here a
Just
second
turned off
ago.
my camera.
Okay.
And I apologize based on I thought we were going to start at 7. I can play until 10.
Okay.
So if you guys want to keep going after that, that's totally fine. I can just
I
be
think
off engineering, but
I think 10 is good for a stop for everybody because Joe has to work tomorrow. Chelsea needs probably to sleep a
I just
little bit
need to
more.
sleep. I didn't get a nap in today, and since I'm working bakery hours, I'm a little tired.
Okay, so let's move this forward. I'm going to fast forward through a couple of things. Hastings, you go down to engineering. The
Yep.
chief engineer has gotten a message that says you're authorized there now, and she does not have time to talk to you because she's trying to repair the warp drive and some other equipment. She assigns you some random junior ensign who gives you a quick tour. I'm going to pull up a picture of the ship.
I'll tag Chelsea to bring it up on screen so that we won't do the up, down, up, down.
All right. Hang on. I pulled it. Okay, now I have to share it. All right, there we go. So if you, this is an old FASA design, and it's an updated version for the 2340s because the FASA design is like 2290s. But basically, you have the saucer section, and then you have these two shoulder pads, we like to call them, which
Okay.
is just kind of our term. And the reason these ships are designed is they are actually a military design. They're originally intended is basically to be able to hold their own in combat and then dump a ton of Marines on something. So the shoulder pads are basically shuttle bays and Marine barracks. And they're
Okay.
supposed to carry about 300 Marines. And then the idea is they can fight something, a ship or a starbase, batter down the shields, and then beam a ton of Marines on board and take it. And so a lot of this is called a Chandley class, and a lot of the Chandley class have kind of been converted to other purposes because Starfleet doesn't have that much need of direct military ships. So sometimes they will clean out the shoulder pads, remove the Marine barracks, and put other things in there. So it's not terribly unusual for a Chandley class to show up in an auxiliary role doing some kind of weird stuff because they've got all this deck space that they can fill with other stuff.
Okay.
And that is apparently what has happened with this ship is the shoulder pads are mostly empty because they contain all kinds of highly classified equipment that is basically a jump engine that will let the ship fold into another universe.
And he explained this, right?
Yes, kind of. He's having some trouble with it because he knows there have to be a few people in engineering that understand this equipment to make it operate, and he's one of the people who is qualified or classified to know it. But he's having a hard time articulate. He knows how the equipment works, but he maybe doesn't understand the greater temporal and multi-universal physics of it.
Well, and I'm not helping because I'm in a bad mood at this point, and I know I'm over my head, so I keep saying things like, well, what about that button? That's an interesting button. Why is it that shape? Wait, what switch do we pull? I don't understand, and I'm the least helpful person to explain to you right now.
Your ensign gets very frustrated, and he realizes he's talking to a commander, and he's an ensign, and he's stammering, and you actually can see that he's sweating a little bit. And he also mentioned several times that it is all classified, and even most of the the people above in the chain of command don't know about it. It's limited to this ship. It's nobody off the ship is supposed to know about it. He doesn't even know if the captains of the other ships or the commodore in charge of the task force or the admiral in charge of the starbase know about it. It's very, very classified.
So I'll see him stammering, and I'll just stop him and say, Ensign, it's okay. It's gonna be fine. I don't actually need to understand. I just don't know what's going on. Here's this smoke bomb, just in case anyone comes down here and tries to sabotage anything. Thank you for the instructions. And I'll leave.
So as you leave, he's holding the smoke bomb in his hand with this perplexed look on his face. He does not understand what just happened. And you walk away, and as you have turned the corner, you catch out of the corner of his eye, and he's out of the corner of your eye, and he's just like, and then you disappear into the turbo lift.
Yeah.
And I don't know
real
where- I
hard
assume
and go,
you're gonna
boom!
cross the bridge.
Yeah.
All right. Moving forward. Would you guys care to take a look around?
Like
I mean, like
a
around.
planet or like around the bay, the
Solar system.
bridge.
Yeah.
Luna's like,
I kind
Well,
of want
it's
to
the
go
bridge, all right.
do like a quick zip over to Earth and see just how destroyed they are.
Well, the
That's
good news
amazing.
is your impulse engines are working just fine. You do get a message from engineering that you should have warp drive online in a couple of hours, and the other equipment might take a little bit longer. But
the warp
impulse
drive is
working
no
fine.
longer on fire, right?
Right,
we
the
have
fire's out.
Do we have? I mean, it wouldn't even, I guess, take long range sensors from here. Is there anything going on, like space activity wise, in the Earthward direction?
There is a nominally Class M planet where you expect Earth to be. It's a little bit irradiated. Okay, it's a lot irradiated, but it's there.
And they don't even have their like expected satellites around them, I guess. Aside from the moon.
Well, there's debris in orbit, quite a bit actually, like a lot of debris in orbit, spread out quite a lot.
I don't know how to express this, but okay, Zillerina's a little bit shocked. Giraffe is thrilled that the dang Terrans didn't take over.
Okay,
Marcus is like, let's go pick up some new toys.
Oh my god.
Like, but yeah, I if Lupine's okay with that, I think we should go check out.
Yeah, we should check it out.
all right. So at Impulse, it does not take you very long to get to Earth. I could pull up the chart, but really, who cares? It's a matter of
No,
minutes
it's
or
like
hours.
not that long.
Yeah, it's really not long to get from Neptune to Earth at Impulse. Earth is still Class M. It still has an oxygen, nitrogen atmosphere. It is pretty irradiated. You could inoculate people and beam down and be okay for a couple hours, but you wouldn't stay there very long. There are life signs on Earth, but clearly they're living deep, like human life signs, but it's hard to read them because they're clearly deep underground. There is no energy signals coming from Earth anymore, and the debris field around Earth is pretty massive. There are ruins of, or there are debris from what you estimate to be several dozen Terran Empire ships and several dozen Romulan ships from the right around the time of 2160, based on the technology, and definitely one or two star bases that have been destroyed. There's debris fields.
We should probably go.
This seems great.
Yeah. So,
This is
Commander,
fine. This is fine.
Captain, there is potentially one little problem once we actually get our warp drives in line. None of us really know what's between here and the Commonwealth.
Okay.
I don't know.
Are you saying this on the bridge openly? Because Pisces is like, oh, I know it's between here and the Commonwealth.
I thought I asked him.
Well, I mean, it's Romulans all the way down.
Okay, that was my worry.
I mean, I can't tell you what the condition of specific worlds are, but it doesn't really matter.
So this is all Romulan space.
Pretty much. We've been fighting against it for a long time. And frankly,
know
we've been
how-
losing ground.
Do you know how densely they tend to populate that space? Like, how many of them are there?
Well, there came a point of diminishing returns with them. I mean, they aren't expanding as much anymore. And we kind of hold them at bay to some degree, but I mean, most of us kind of know that it's a matter of time.
Oh,
It might be 300 or 400 years. But
this is the place my parents are from. It's so sad. Oy. Okay.
Hmm.
I feel like
Oh,
he's
joke
going
on
to
the
be
phone.
giving me a huge thing now.
Yeah.
He's like, I stopped texting and now I'm just talking into my phone. So I'm like, well, I'm about to get a novel over here.
So yeah, that's kind of my concern is obviously there doesn't seem to be much going on here. But if the goal is to get him back to the Commonwealth and us back to ourselves,
Well, also remember that traveling, I mean, I don't know if you, I mean, when you got here, we intercepted you on our Romulan ship because nobody's supposed to be traveling in space. We allowed, they allowed travel in the Commonwealth, but that's only because we fight for that tooth and nail. But that's only that small area.
why are people not allowed to travel in space?
They're not allowed to travel in Romulan space unless you're Romulan. And frankly, I think this ship can't pass as a Romulan ship.
It's a bit difficult.
Yeah, unless you've got something really amazing. But I've seen some amazing things out of this ship. Maybe you too. But I mean, this area, they don't patrol very often. We're probably safe here for a while. But they do travel. There are Romulan patrols all over the place.
Probably be best that we don't go anywhere, but that's just my opinion.
We might
Captain.
be safer going across and then trying to come across again, but that's extremely dangerous every time we do it. Marcus, do you want to start working on those calculations? You probably have no idea what we're trying to calculate.
I really don't. Marcus, start pushing the red button now. Not the green one, the red one.
What do you mean you're colorblind? No.
How
Come
did
on,
you
we've
end up
only got
with
half an hour of this episode left. We have to solve it by then.
right?
The solution
All right.
is murder everyone.
Nope, didn't work. Nope, that didn't work either.
Are you
Damn.
trying to
Nope.
scan the wreckage?
Nope. Yeah, I would scan the wreckage. I've probably asked or talked to engineering at least once to find out if they need parts or just scan the wreckage for anything of value.
Okay. Give me
Uh-oh.
reason and science, and the ship can help you with sensors and science.
Reasons. Oh, shoot. Where'd my dice go?
So that's going to be basically 3 dice, just FYI.
Yeah.
But you need to know which die is the ship's die,
I'm
because
gonna
that has a
roll the-
different target number.
Let me roll mine first. My 2 first.
Okay. What's your
So,
target number?
reason in science. 10 and 14 for both of those.
10 and 4 is
Sorry.
14. Okay.
Yep.
All right, go ahead.
19. So that's
Okay.
a fail.
That's a fail.
Epic fail at 20.
Okay.
dear.
And then
All right. Roll for the ship.
What's the ship stats need?
Who's got the ship handy?
I do.
Sensors and science.
She usually has it up.
It's 6.
6.
We really need to buy some science on this ship.
We gotta buy some
I
science.
gotta re-roll that thing. All right.
How is it not
9.
higher when we have an entire engineering that's
Well-
all science?
Um,
Kids are different than people.
It's kind of a new addition to this ship.
you've broken the sensors, unfortunately.
Oh no!
You're not quite sure what you did because they were working fine, but you start doing the scan, and all of a sudden it just.
And everyone just looks at you silently, hating you for a moment in this
In
dark.
fact, the main view screen goes down.
No.
Captain, I'm going back to my room. I quit. My shift's over. I need a smoke.
Engineering. We have yet another problem.
Poor engineering. They've had to like put out a freaking warp core.
We hear the ensign in engineering who just had to deal with Hastings start to cry quietly over the microphone.
He's just sobbing.
A smoke grenade goes off in a hallway. No one knows why.
Actually, I'm just going to say an ensign carrying in his hand a smoke grenade comes running in. He's still carrying the smoke grenade, and he just doesn't know what to do with it. And he starts repairing the sensor console, and he has it back up and running pretty quick.
It's it's not like these uniforms have pockets. They don't. So he just has to carry it.
Yeah.
Because there's no pocket to put it in.
And the commander gave it to him, so if he puts it down, he could get in trouble.
Right.
Ah!
He'll get busted because the commander gave it to him.
Welcome to being a woman, everyone.
I was thinking, were these uniforms designed by the people who design women's clothes?
Oh yeah, totally.
Yes.
Starfleet uniforms are totally designed by people who design women's clothes. It's
They're the
amazing
special
nobody's
hat.
walking around in high heels.
Would someone less likely to break the sensors like to try what Marcus was trying?
What did Marcus roll again? I'm sorry.
It was reason and science.
I mean, I can do that. I'm just trying to figure out what he was trying to do.
I mean, I've got a 13 to hit, so I might as well do a support roll.
I was going to say, I've got a 17 in that, but I don't know what he was trying to do because he told me.
Yeah, I have an 11 in those because it turns out those are my two.
Come on, Zellerina, let's help him out.
So,
Varath, can I ask what you were trying to do and can I help?
Just see what's out here. See what's going on.
I mean, that's a reasonable thought.
We're here. Might as well scan the area and see
I
what
rolled
we
a
can
9
sell.
and an 18. And the 18 almost was a success, but it's
I
also
rolled
not
a
a success.
2 and a 6.
And then the ship,
to
All right,
help
so
out.
Chelsea, you're assisting.
1
Yeah,
success.
I'm just assisting because I.
If you're
kinda know
assisting,
how
you only
things
get
work.
1 die.
Oh, okay, so
I'll give you the 2. I dropped a momentum token, and it's like under the desk in the dark, and you can't see them.
Oh
All right, there we
no!
go. All right, so Chelsea, I'm going to give you 1 success. Luna, I'm going to give you 1 success. So the two of you basically just like shoulder past the ensign. Marcus, you basically just like get shouldered out of the way by the captain and the first officer. They push a few buttons and are like, "This is how you run a sensor scan, ensign." And
On this ship.
All right.
On this ship.
on this
Yeah.
ship, no, the sensors are normal. It's just you're a little flabbergasted at the briefing you just got, I
we
guess.
just were very
I'm
confused.
going to tell the
Already
ensign that got the bomb in his hand to train this ensign on using this technology.
Yes,
No one
Commander.
asks the man why he has that. They just all go, "Yeah, this is fine."
That's fine. Yeah, no one has. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
All right. What did you now that your first officer and captain have helped you with your basic job functions? What would you like to know?
No pressure. No pressure.
What's in the area? Like, what's going on? What happened? Or whatever the sensors can tell us.
Very clearly, based on the technology of the wreckage, very clearly around 2160, there was a very large battle involving lots and lots of Terran Empire ships and lots of Romulan ships. And there's a lot of debris. Some of the ships are actually more or less intact. There's just nobody on them. Yeah.
I want to go find out if there is an intact enough Romulan ship to find out how they turn invisible.
Sure.
Hey, I did something
That's
right.
something we've been
Reason and
wanting to know
science.
for a while.
Reason and science with the ship's sensors of sensors and science.
Okay. I got a 9 and an 8, both of which are successes. And the ship did not get a success.
All right, so you got one success.
Yeah.
Okay,
No, I got 2 successes.
you got 2 successes.
Yeah.
All right. So yes, there are some intact Romulan ships that look like they might have the right sections intact. If you would like to board one of them and try to help yourself to what you find there.
I think we need to go pirating some cloaking drives if we can figure out what they are.
When
I mean, this is what we do.
pirate away.
I'm just throwing up on the share screen, just as a reminder for the Star Trek fans, the era of ships you're looking at, although these are Prime Universe ships, the era of ships you're looking at would match these ships. So you're looking at NX-01 era Enterprise ships, or very shortly after that, and Romulan ships like these, like what you would have seen in Star Trek Enterprise.
I don't actually know if those can cloak, but I'm basing as Solarina off of the fact that we definitely know they can make themselves invisible in 40 years from now. So
Sure. They all right. So you
The
beam over.
pauses.
Yeah.
I
Yeah, sure. You find one that the engineering section is mostly intact. Are you going to beam over?
you want to come? Anybody?
Sure, yeah. I might as well. I get shot and stabbed
go on
and
this ship.
teleport to multiverse. And
I'm gonna pull
Yeah, let's-
Zolarina aside really quickly and be like,
Second first.
I'm gonna pull Zolarina aside as
Okay.
they're kind of heading out. Like, do you want to take this thing, Kathy?
He's
Do
a
you want me
Lemendon.
to?
Oh, Lamendon. I'm sorry. Like, just in case.
Do you want me
Spy
to?
Romulans. Yeah. See what happens.
I don't think there's any life signs on any of these things. Are there any life signs on any of these things?
Oh no.
life support.
Oh no.
From the sidelines as we're discussing this, I'll say, I mean, but if the Romulans are still in charge of this area, I think that we should not keep our hopes up for them leaving that kind of technology on their wrecked ships. We should still check, and you do that. But the Romulans are smart, so I'm going to be a little
That's
surprised
debatable.
if they just left that technology hanging out, floating in space. But, I'm here for it, and I hope we find it. Be great.
I am hoping that since they have no competition in this universe, they just weren't that worried about it.
Hey, that's fair. That's a good point. That's a good point.
All right. So are you beaming over? What's your landing party consist of? Who are you
I'm
taking?
staying on the ship.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
staying on the shift as well.
Okay.
Verac,
Yes,
you
I'm
want to come?
going. I guess that's fine. You can leave me on shit for messing up the sensors too while you're at it.
I am not that kind of person. You are useful to me, and there is someone above us both that told me that you were useful to me.
I still don't even know how I'm useful.
I mean,
right,
you don't know that there's someone above both of us that told me that you're useful to me, but that's why you're here.
So we're taking Jarath and Varath.
Or I don't know.
Zelena and Marcus. Who else are we taking? Anybody else?
I'm sure we've got like a couple of security officers and some
Mhm.
random engineering people.
Okay, sure.
Some smart people.
It is 9:42, so I'm going to speed this up.
Okay.
You give me a reason and engineering roll. Marcus, you can assist. Okay, you do have 2 momentum in the momentum pool. You're going to need a couple successes to make this work. You got 2 momentum in the momentum pool to work with. You're rolling 3 die right now because Marcus is assisting. He gets 1 die.
Okay. My,
Jarath is primary. She gets 2 dice. And you may also buy threat or spend momentum.
I have a target
So-
of 16 on this. I'm not sure how you do on this, Marcus, but I'm feeling kind of like that's a better than average possibility.
Reason and engineering, right? I'm shooting for 12, so
Yep,
Are
and
we
I'm going to tell you
shooting for-
before you make your decision,
2 or 3 successes.
you're going to need 3 if you think you're going to formulate an actual enough to have a prayer of putting together a cloaking device.
Then let's go ahead and spend one of those.
Okay, 1 momentum spent. So, Luna, you get a 3rd die to roll.
Okay.
You could buy another one with threat. I have lots here.
Huh.
You and your threat.
I don't feel
Wait,
that I need
please.
that.
Please reinstate our
I'm sorry. I
entire.
thought we had discussed this, Joe. Are we gonna have to do this every time you GM? When do you get a threat for free?
I'm
When,
just telling you what your options are.
when do you get it for free? When you
When?
gotta read that to Aaron or crying on air. Are you crying on air right now?
No, I'm not. It's just my job to make you aware of your options.
No, you just want us to get stuck with us. I know what's going on. I see you. It's not happening.
Okay.
I have 2 successes, one of which might be a 3rd success if one of my focuses applies, and I'm not sure if it does.
What focus is that?
I mean, I have temporal mechanics, and I have
This-
theoretical physics.
Okay, theoretical physics I'll give you.
Yeah, as I said,
Temporal
theoretic-
mechanics isn't going to do anything for you. Marcus, what'd you do?
I rolled a 12. It was reason and engineering, right?
Yep.
Oh, I hit it right on the nose.
All right, so you have 4 successes.
Okay, now I am
my focus,
obligated to
though,
let
is
you know, Joe,
computers.
that my 3rd die that was not a success is a 19. So if you get your threat from that, that's up to you.
Okay.
Don't give him.
Well, it doesn't
options.
necessarily generate
Yeah.
threat. It can, but it can also generate a complication if the complication range is moved down. I'm not going to move the complication range down. It's not a 20, so we're going
It's a
to.
cold chip.
That's
Real
why I
quick,
figured I
though.
was obligated to tell you.
Thank you. Go ahead, Brett.
I have a focus of computers. Would that work in this situation as well?
You know what? I'll give it to you.
Okay.
But did you roll under your engineering?
No. Engineering's 2, so no.
Okay, then that focus doesn't help anyway. All right.
Okay.
So we have a total of 4 successes. You needed 3. Would you like your momentum re-earned, or would you like to have an easier time making the cloaking device work?
Make it easy. That's up to you,
I
but
think
I'd
we
say make
need
it
it-
easy.
Easier because we're hopefully using this to get us back to
Somewhere safe.
not this space.
Okay. And you do, and when you take you have to take some control computers to get the cloaking device. Like there's some software you have to take.
Okay.
And you also come across sort of a history briefing.
Hmm.
Do we want the
That's
history,
cool.
or you just want to get out of here?
I want the
If we
history
have
if we can get it.
I'm fine. Like, we don't seem to be under any kind of time crunch right now, so let's get what we can get. Unless it becomes a time crunch, then we'll
If
just-
you will look in the Discord Star Trek Games chat, there is a Word document there for you.
Oh, G chat. Oh, game chat. Okay.
And you got your own Discord.
And that might be something, because it is 9:47. So this might be a real good place to break, and then you guys can read that in the meantime. And then we can pick up next week.
Yeah,
Okay.
that sounds
Next
good.
week or 2 weeks?
Or 2 weeks. I thank you. Good
Yeah,
catch.
I'm sorry that I have to end early tonight. I had gotten I had allotted myself the 3 hours. I apologize. So
It's okay.
It's good, and part of it is that I, of course, started late as well because of Geek Tank rolling out late. So I apologize for that.
it happens. Life
We're
happens.
not doing that. Are we doing that again in 2 weeks, or is this something weirdly special for this one?
You mean the Geek Tank pre-show? No, we're trying to the last half year or whatever. Troy hasn't been able to join many Geek Tank shows, and now Chelsea works like effectively right now. So what we decided to do was pre-record our shows on Sunday, and then play them Thursday night. And then when there's a game, we'll just move it in front of the game.
I still think
So
we
that
should just
way we can
not do
still-
it when there's a game and just schedule games maybe like once a month.
Well, at least until we figure all this stuff out. That was what we had talked about in our meeting, and we can change it, but we should probably get all three of us together before we do that. So, but yeah, I mean, so that was the battle plan, was to record a show and just put it right in front. So it was going to be 6 to 7, and then we would roll in at 7 o'clock. The idea was that I would be running the Geek Tank show, and then Chelsea could start this thing like she did tonight, so that all of us can gather together and do the pre-show. I actually am hoping that Troy will run the Geek Tank show, so that neither one of us get in there. Because I noticed tonight that whenever I logged into this StreamYard, it started broadcasting Chelsea out onto the recorded show. So I was like, I got to get out of the StreamYard, so that, because otherwise all you guys will be talking in the middle of Geek Tank. So had to
Talking about all of our deep life secrets. Just
Yeah.
playing.
Yeah, chances are you would probably need those on 2 separate computers.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that Troy will do it next time, so that he can run it independently, and then I can join in here. We can do all of our pregame stuff at 6:30, and be ready to roll up at 7 o'clock, and then just switch from the Geek Tank show to this.
It makes sense.
That's provided that Chelsea and Troy and I don't have a meeting and decide just not to do it at all on game night, which
I
might
think
also
one is enough. There's
So
enough going on.
February 4th is our third and theoretically final act of this story. So that's the schedule for now for Star Trek Shackleton. Although there is a tentative schedule for the next season starting in March, and that's on our Facebook group.
Mhm.
But we'll also have to make sure that Dustin is good to go.
Yeah, I was going to say we might want to push that back to, further along, just so that Chelsea can stabilize and
Yeah.
all of get a little bit of a break.
The other thing is, I don't know how fast you guys are going to move without me putting too many breadcrumbs in front of you on this, because I've given you a mystery and to figure out, and then you have to solve the mystery, and then you have to resolve the problem once you solve the mystery. So it's possible that we won't be able to wrap it up next session,
Okay.
and we'll have to end
I
it.
might have one more.
What you meant
Yeah.
to say was probable. Probable.
I was trying to be diplomatic.
Yeah.
Dustin's on.
Unlike our
Dustin just
diplomat.
jumped in.
We're still live. I mean, we can do this in post.
Yeah.
I mean,
I-
our biggest thing is just figuring out
That's a good point.
scheduling and,
Thank you.
and people and things because like all of our lives have drastically changed because of COVID times. I mean, Joe's on a shift bid schedule, which just is the way it is. I'm a baker now. So we just need to figure out scheduling and what Geek Tank's doing because we're in a new year and it's kind of crazy, but we'll get it figured out. It'll be okay. So
Yeah.
we'll post the schedule as soon as we kind of figure it out, and I'll, of course, we'll use the Discord on our end to kind of figure out scheduling as well, just to make sure that it's working for everybody so we can all be here and have a great time. So
Yeah. Sounds like a
Maybe
plan.
we can take a few minutes after we close the broadcast, and Dustin can jump in, and we can talk schedule after we're off the air.
okay,
Sounds good. Yeah.
cool. Then I'm
Amazing.
gonna run credits.